All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody having a wonderful day. TGIF. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, right? Yo, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, y'all. X, whatever. I got to get used to saying that. Hey, my bad on yesterday. I know this is crazy, but again, like I said, sometimes y'all, I enjoy what I do. So I didn't start the stream. We were able to do it on whatnot, YouTube, but we didn't do it on the rest of them. So, my bad on that, y'all. But hey, we catching up today, okay? So, hey, it's what's happening, y'all. It's what's happening. You know what I mean? It's allowed, y'all. I'm a one man show, so I do it a lot by myself. So, yeah, let me go ahead and turn this screen, put this on pause for a second. Just pause that. All right, yo. So here I am. Good morning. Good morning. Shout out to my cousin. Man. The long gun. The long gun. He changed his name. Used to be Young L, but now it's the long gun. As you mature in time. Want to give a shout out to his brand Hustle Life. You know what I mean? Always showing love. And I'm glad you made it back safely, man. He just went on some trip. Can't really remember where. I want to say Louisiana, but again, I'm in and out, y'all. I'm in and out. All right, so yeah. Let me give a shout out to a few people that's been helping me, on this journey. You guys probably can't hear me. Give me a second. Mm, give me a second. Give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna make sure I turn this Bluetooth off. We don't want no problems. All right, there we go. There we go. Just want to make sure we turn that Bluetooth off because last time, people said they couldn't hear me, and it was probably because I had the Bluetooth in, right? I mean, it was active. That's why. That's what I found out. Anyway, because it was coming through the speaker on the earpiece. Now, I want to give a shout out to a couple of people in the collaboration team. I'm sorry, y'all. I look down a lot because I'm looking at my notes and stuff. And I mean, I know we supposed to do some type of presentation and look you guys in the eye. My bad for not looking you in the eye. I'm a little older, y'all. I'm not afraid to speak like in public settings or anything like that. It's just I'm always looking at notes and stuff I have down. So I'm tend to look down and look back up. I don't want you guys to think I'm not trying to have a one-on-one report with you all. It's just I'm looking at notes, y'all. I just want to make sure I don't forget anything. And sometimes there are things that I do forget, and it's like, I should have told them. And then, I write it down and still can't remember. All right, so we wanted to talk about May 17th. See, can I bring this calendar up real quick? May 17th. That's not going to be good. May 17th. We're going to have to do it May 18th. So we're looking at May 18th, y'all. May 18th, we're looking at doing like maybe a 4-hour stream. So we're getting coming to the end of book one. So we should have book one done. Mm, mm. Maybe after I get back. That's kind of wild though. But book one, we're coming to the end of it, and we don't have much longer. Um, yeah, we're going to page 121. We're on page 103. So I would like to be May 18th, but that might not happen now. I got to look at how many things. Oh, okay, it's character bios, and then you keep going, and then I have a glossary in the back too. So that glossary, all the terms and stuff I come up, make believe stuff that I make up. I want to give you some type of reference to it, and then I have something called reflections. So the reflections is what one of the characters go through. It's just like reflecting on everything that has happened so far. This is something I made up. I just don't ask me. It just felt good when I thought about it. Reflection. So I'm reflecting through one of the characters on some of the stuff that has transpired. And then there's some things that happen like no, I'm gonna say the movies, they influenced me to do this. Watching Stan Lee, a master at his game when he was doing it, the first phases, right? The first 4 phases, right? Immaculate. And I think that's because they had Stan Lee there. And because he was there, he was able to give them more context to how the characters really move. So everything seemed a little bit more authentic. That's what I'm gonna say, okay? And now we it's almost like we got some people who read a script and they trying to do their best. They're not the lovers of the game, if you will. I wish I could remember that guy from Punisher because he was instrumental when he was talking about how he went through a comic book store. The guy knew who he was and told him, "Don't blow it." So he had to go and learn how to become the Punisher. So I thought that was dope because he put the work in. But anyway, like I was saying, I have reflections in the back of the book, and then I also going to do a prelude to book two. So I give you insight on book two because I want you guys to know there's always something else coming. I think I do that in all book 1 through 3, and by the time you get to 1 through 3, book 4 has been released, book 5, and then I'm not necessarily doing it, but I still do reflections at the end. So I just wanted you guys to know that this is kind of how I structure, I organize what it is I'm doing. Um, and because we didn't go to the Urban Nerd Con, it was canceled. Okay, it wasn't me. It was canceled, and because it was canceled, we still want to give you something like a big flash sale or something where you guys can get a little piece of merch. You can spread the word. What I'm gonna do instead of um, stalling you out, hitting one at a time, one of these individual little sub chapters. Uh, Possibly the weekend after the 18th, I think we should be done with book one. Then we'll do the whole chapter, right? I do have the clips in chapter form too, not just sub chapters. So we can break it all over break it down to the individual chapters. They're anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes long. And then as each one of them play, and as each one of them end, we might do like a 15-minute flash sale. So you guys gonna have to be around and be aware of what's going on because I'll start talking about, hey, the flash sale. If they're like true purchases, okay, because I have comic books, and I know I have a couple of, OG comics that you guys probably gonna want to get into. And I also have this raffle, right? We want the raffle to be through purchases. Purchases, you get your name put into the raffle, and whatever we raffling off, the day we raffle, probably do that once a month. Again, trying to drum up business, get some of this stuff sold off so I can re-up and alter and change. You know what I'm saying? We never know what it is, but you guys will let me know. You guys will let me know what it is about Flux, whatever item it is, whatever merch it is. That's what's up. Oh, last thing, we want to get new t-shirts, y'all. I don't know if you guys seen the old t-shirts. They're pretty much like this right here. Yeah, they got this image pretty much across the front of it, but without the blue background. So just the imagery, Flux, Zodiac. Well, it don't even have Zodiac Gardeners. It has Flux and it has the characters. So we want to also move to get into like the individual characters and whatnot. Some people want to be Sagittarius and they don't want the rest of them on there. Some people want to be Pisces or whatever, whatever your zodiac sign is. Okay, so today we're really going through it says pulse and intake. Okay, we just hit chapter 5, page 103. Chapter 5, are things not what they seem? All right, that's the name of the chapter. Yeah. Look, y'all, when you're writing, there's so many things go through your mind. So instead of just saying what's going on or whatever, I came up with a way to say, are things not what they seem? Just a word vegetable. What they say, word garbage or whatever. So let me go back real quick though and hit you with what happened in the last few sub chapters. I remember Commander Tremble, right? This is what we is. Well, This is where we're at when it comes to the antagonizers for book 1 and 2. Okay. Now, Commander Tremble, he's a Bakata, right? They're from the planet Cancer. They're the dominant society on a planet called Cancer. Real quick, every constellation in the flux continuum. When I talk, I'm referencing the flux continuum. If I say in our real reality, that means I might point down and talk about the reality that we as people live in. But because they're so close, so many similarities, I just wanted to go ahead and throw that out there. Now, Commander Tremble is going to Commander Tremble came to, well, he okay, so Commander Tremble is on his way to Earth. Okay, so when we last left him, he was sneaking up behind the moon. Right, he had camouflaged the merge. Right, he had went through the Kuiper Belt. the Oort cloud, and he had came through the Kuiper belt. He came through the solar system. And he basically sees um, Earth, the shiny blue planet. Now, to the Bakrata, it looks like pure essence, like life, like maybe how an ice cream would look on a summer day to us. He knows that the entire planet is radiating life essence. And remember, everything that the Bakrata see, they have a hive mind. It's called the exchange. Everybody that's an insectum like them can see it too. So that's in the flux team. So he's basically relaying this back to the planet. They have a few things that happen. They recalibrate for the signal or whatever, but basically that's what he's sharing with the rest of his people. So everybody knows that there's sustenance in this universe. Then we jump to Den Han, and Den Han was waking up, right? He's the hero of Aquarius. Go ahead and throw him up there. So this is the hero of Aquarius. He wakes up. Remember, we were doing all the introductions when all the characters were coming back, and Den Han is the latest that came back, and he's the hero of Aquarius. He comes back, or let's say he's transported back to Area 51. Okay, that's in Groom Lake, USA. It's a research field. Y'all have heard of Area 51, right? Some people come out. Let's say the guards and everything come out. They come to find out it's an enhanced human. They swear they found the enhanced human. They relay it to the boss, or let's say their superior. Pulse and phase, they teleport in. It's his whole thing about, he wants to go back, and they let him know, hey, we need you to save the planet. But basically, he comes forth, right? And then when he comes forth and say, hey, okay, I'll go with y'all and I'll help the planet out. W.L. White, who's a documentarian and a reporter within the story, he actually hits on that. He talks about Ember, how she's tearing up the bio facility, destruction through. Oh, she goes through Raramia's criminal empire. She's killed or unalived up to it was like 68 people, but they're all with extensive criminal backgrounds. And then she gets WL gets into Den Han coming back and stating how he'll be helping out and everything, and letting everybody know, like, hey, I'm a part of the fight. I'm here to help support Earth. So Den Han, who is now Stratus, he pretty much lets Earth know, hey, I'm gonna protect you guys. Then we have impact armor. We discussed the impact armor, the 3 VGs. I read the definition a few times, so we're gonna move past that. Basically, that's what WL does. He gives you the impact that the enhanced humans or the Zodiac Guardians have on Earth, and how the people, relate with it and what's going on and whatnot. Which brings us to Pulse and Intake, Chapter 5, page 103. Are things not what they seem? Okay. So what I normally do, and we're gonna go ahead and get it in. We're gonna put this video on, let you guys peep out the video. I'll be back. Then I'll give you my whatever on it, my insight on it, the way I think. I called this one today catching up with Pulse, because though Pulse and Intech are working together, it's more about Pulse. Remember, there is no special. Well, no, all of them are special. So the Zodiac Guardians, each individually, if I had the time, I'm 52, if I had the time to like write the story, let's say if I would have started at 18, I would have wrote each individual character. But because of the age I am and, life expectancy for human beings, I went on and wrote the one big story, which ultimately I'm basically saying you would have known what everybody was individually doing, and then they would have all came to this point, because this is still what's going to happen. The darkness is coming. And remember, even though we follow the Zodiac Guardians through the story, or we follow them because that's who we can relate with, this story is actually about the Lords of Chaos versus the Lords of Order. Yeah. But the Zodiac Guardians are avatars, the hero, right? The fist, because the Lords of Chaos and the Lords of Order, if they fought, they would pretty much destroy the universe. It'd be way too epic, right? So we need avatars to do the work. All right, so let me put this on for y'all. Cut this music off. Pause that. Got you. All right, I'm gonna put this clip on, and we'll be right back, y'all. We'll be right back at the stage.
Are things not what they seem? Chapter 5. Pulse and Intech. United Nations HQ. United Nations, New York, Earth. Pulse was a detective at the PCPD before receiving the bioengine inverter NRG. He is a seasoned officer and accustomed to reacting quickly to adversity. After teleporting into the UN HQ and meeting Intech, he receives a better understanding of how the enhanced humans will aid in protecting Earth. Since becoming one with the NRG, Pulse has acquired an EM prescience. It is an additional awareness of his environment, an extension of his electromatter beacon. With his new abilities, Pulse can see man's primitive use of Earth's EM field. He can even see the sound wave a human voice makes when people speak. He and Intech are able to compile the Imperial Codex data during their initial meeting. They each possess fragments of data that has not revealed what enemy is coming. Intech believes for the Gifts of Powers ceremony to have begun, an unseen presence of unimaginable power is disrupting the universal balance. Whatever is coming has Intech shook, and Pulse definitely doesn't fully grasp the situation. This is bigger than anything man has ever encountered. He fears an enemy is coming that will damage the fabric of all reality. Pulse's appearance confirms to Intech that Earth will be targeted. He scans, assesses, and determines Pulse's capabilities during their initial meeting. Pulse can teleport huge quantities of equipment across the planet in the blink of an eye. There are others that attended the multi-dimensional Gifts of Power ceremony. These orb wielders are showing up around the planet. Pulse isn't sure if they will all be human. There were alien visions during the neurofeed. Many sent chills down his spine. Pulse is relieved after meeting Intech. He had no clue how to prepare Earth for an alien invasion. Intech, however, has developed global strategies and security measures which are greatly improving Earth's chances of survival. Pulse has been tasked to teleport around the planet with huge shipments of equipment and supplies. With the assistance of other enhanced humans, Intech's strategic initiatives give hope to the citizens around the world. That's what Pulse desires more than anything, a plan to save his planet. The UN officials have finally released their votes for the Titan Shield facility security protocols. They will now be integrated with the IQ matrix. There are 4 transmission stations located around the world. These sites will facilitate worldwide communications. Earthly forms of communications are considered inferior and must be filtered through the IQ matrix. The IQ matrix network will allow communication signals to be encapsulated with white noise frequencies. White noise will further disrupt any and all signals that are transmitted at the planet. While Pulse continues to transport equipment to different countries, he stops several times to test the EM field near the towers. It is Earth's best defense at protecting Earth from otherworldly influences. People rush to touch Pulse when he teleports into a drop zone. Others fall to their knees in worship. Recently, man's behavior has become overwhelming. Pulse can see the desperation in their eyes. In others, he can see only hope. Once people receive access to the IQ matrix, a retinal scan in the 3VG impact armor units is standard for user authentication. Intech's new technology allows a user to access and respond with real-time streams. It will further allow GPS and video streaming capabilities for EMS personnel. Pulse leaves the people with words of encouragement before he vanishes. Government and commercial broadcasting resources have begun the disassembling and deconstruction of transmission towers. While preparing for the preemptive invasion, extreme measures are taken to unify government alliances. If Pulse isn't transporting shipments around the world, he's attending hours of strategic and defense conferences with UN officials. They are demanding that Pulse and Intech be available for questioning to authorize the Titan Shield. With his newfound abilities, Pulse can now see data transmissions. He dazzles the UN officials when he reveals the digital stream during a meeting. The Titan Shield is an assembly of 4 massive orbiting satellites and 4 surface conducting units. The conductors and satellites are evenly distributed around the planet. The satellites will connect to the IQ matrix network, shielding the planet with a frequency oscillation barrier. As Pulse waits in the upper atmosphere for final countdown, Intech receives an executive order authorizing the activation of the shield. Once authorization is received, Pulse teleports the satellites to their designated coordinates. While he positions the satellites, Ember's escape from justice continues to gnaw at him. Since his initial run-in with Ember, Pulse is eager to engage her again. Their last encounter didn't go as planned. While he was distracted protecting a woman near death, Ember got the better of him. She is a known serial killer. No warrants have been filed for her arrest, while she receives praises for her actions. The government officials in her country are not asking for assistance in detaining her. Pulse wonders what type of world he lives in, where a well-known murderer can walk the streets unmolested by its citizens. His heart goes out to her cause, but taking life is wrong. While lost in thought, he completes the satellite drops in orbit. After a quick telemetry update, Pulse reports in to Intech. Once confirmation is received, Intech activates the 4 transmission facilities. Pulse teleports back to the UNHQ and gathers the remaining enhanced humans. It is time for Ember to pay for her crimes against humanity. The media is reporting she is directly responsible for killing 68 people. Pulse continues as he rallies the other enhanced humans with his words. Each of Ember's victims has a history of criminal activities, linking them to multiple crimes across the world. Her sister's kidnapping, yet sad, is no excuse for her murderous rampage to go unchecked, Pulse says with conviction in his voice. He believes she is more than the local authorities can handle. If they don't bring her in, then who else will, he thinks to himself. He will need a way to locate her, and Intech recently invented just the thing. It's a locator that will enable Pulse and the others to track her energy signature. He smiles, knowing that soon she will be brought to justice.
Okay, we back. We back, y'all. So today we talking about Pulse, right? And remember, I already said that nobody is more important than the other, but I have to break them down in sub chapters. So we're back to Pulse, and we're back to that fight that they had, right? But first, we start off with just giving y'all some insight on what happened to Pulse after he and Intake got together, right? We mentioned it early in the book when W.L. White was he was basically documenting what was happening in the media and how Pulse teleported into the UN. And he mentioned like, hey, these guys they act like they don't know each other or whatever, yada yada yada. But anyway, so now we're back to what Pulse has been doing. He's basically teleporting around the world. He's doing 2 things. He's either dropping off equipment, and I told you guys yesterday that these guys are powerful, right? Pulse could probably, the way I wrote him or the way I see him, he could pretty much maybe teleport a stadium, like one of these giant football or stadiums. Yeah, he could teleport like a lot of mass. It's not really the mass. The electromagnetic beacon is what allows him to. Because we mentioned that, right? His electromagnetic beacon, what it does is, I called it a EM presence, right? Like he has an understanding because of prescience. So his EM prescience is because we have this magnetic field around Earth. You guys, you seen the picture of the globe or the planet out in space, and they'll show you these little waves around. What does that mean? They'll show you these little waves around it, right? And those waves are magnetic fields, right? So if he has a strong enough magnetic field, his electromagnetic beacon can go out, check to see if there's enough room. All this happens in speed of light, y'all, way faster than we can acknowledge. But it's just him knowing that there's enough area for him to do what he needs to do. Now, when it comes to dropping off all this equipment and everything, he knows where to drop it off. Of course, they have coordinates and all of that, right? So he knows where to drop it off. And I just felt like people would get that, okay? But to explain his his electromagnetic beacon in our magnetic field, he can pretty much teleport anywhere. Because we all are exposed now, unless there's a room or something that doesn't use electromagnetic field, they're, somehow they're able to negate that, then yeah, he couldn't teleport there, but he could teleport close to there. It's almost like if somebody had a force field and they had their own electromagnetic beacon inside that force field, then he can't jump in there because he's using the planet's electromagnetic field. I just want to try to make sure you guys understand. Now, Pulse has the energy, right? When it's spelled NR apostrophe GE, right? Basically the way it's spelled, NRG, right? And I just it's energy. It's energy, y'all. But I just spelled it like that because that has to do with his with the orb in his chest. Each one of these are the orbs are like cosmic treasures, right? Celestial treasures from the angelic celestials, right? That were left behind. So that's what he has in his heart. So technically, he's messing around with celestial type technology and whatnot. That's why these guys are so powerful. Okay, just got to make sure I got to keep putting that out there. All right. So the longer Pulse stays on planet Earth, the more he can see. So I wanted you guys to know that Pulse is powerful, y'all. Wow, like he's powerful compared to some of the other guys, the stuff he can do. But maybe he can't do the same thing out in space. It's a give and take on these energy, right? So he can see when we talk, there's a sound wave that we project out when we talk. It comes from our voice, right? We're talking, right? He can see that. Yeah, he can see that. I thought that was kind of dope. I don't know. I'm smiling because I thought it was dope. I thought if I could walk around and see people's voice, I thought that'd be kind of dope. And it's just my imagination running away with me. Right. So yeah, he could do that. He and Intech. Okay. So basically, I reflect back on him and Intech, and remember the Imperial Codex is basically a neural feed. It's part of the Gifts of Power ceremony, and for sentient beings, they get a neural feed, and the neural feed is called an Imperial Codex, and it's transmitted to your brain. You decode it, or let's say it's translated for you. And what Pulse saw, he gave it to Intech. Intech is so smart. Remember his information technology. He assessed Pulse when he met Pulse. He assessed like the energy, Pulse. He pretty much put it together. And the reason he's so smart, y'all, Intech, is because you need a smart guy on the team, right? These guys have to save the universe. And the Gifts of Power ceremony, right? Intech believes for the Gifts of Power ceremony to have begun, an unseen presence of unimaginable power is disrupting the universal balance. And remember, I did let you guys know the Gifts of Power ceremony, the ceremonial orbs are fail safes. So, in all God's infinite wisdom, coming back into the universe the way I have it, right? The universe is a ball, right? Um, that's kind of how I have it. And then I have heaven way up here. I have other stuff like the yin yang. Y'all can't talk about all that. I have the ethereal realm out here, and we have the universe, which death watches. So death is not the curator. I almost said curator. He's not the curator. Death is the he monitors it. That's his job. So not only does he come and get life forms when they expire, right? Come get the essence of those life forms, the souls, unalive after they unalive. You gotta remember these new terms, y'all. After they unalive, but he also monitors it to see what other entities. Now, in the flux continuum, the horsemen of apocalypse were the first beings ever made, created. Yes, yes, kind of. But for order, let's call it order. For the side of order, they were the first beings ever created. They are the ultimate of ultimates. They cannot be beaten. They can be beaten because they did get beaten, but they cannot be beaten, right? It takes some crazy stuff to beat them, all right? And I did write that already. It's book 4. All right, so basically, what was he talking about? So the Gifts of Power ceremony is a divine fail-safe, and it's not the only one. That way I leave more room to open up for flux in another whatever, right? Another scenario somewhere else. But there are more than just one fail safe. And the gifts of power, they can't like one orb, that means somebody's abusing power. That means there'll be somebody will come, maybe one of the forgotten. I know you guys don't know who these people are, but I do. So these guys will come and ensure that the power is done the way it's supposed to. But to actually activate the ceremonial orbs, the universe has to be like, it's going to be ultimately destroyed, if you will. Or even if you blew out a big chunk of the universe, technically the mass of the universe, you would still disrupt the universe. I mean, everything is contingent on circular motion. Am I wrong? I mean, I see it on the back of my head right here. I have a circular. um you've seen the videos where everything is circular in motion, right? Even when they show you the galaxy, everything is always spinning in some type of motion. Okay, it's almost like it's a perpetual thing or something. So even the universe, to me, right, or in the flux continuum, is spinning too. We just can't see it because we can't fathom how big it is. It just my outlook on things. So anyway, so we know the gifts of power ceremony is an autocorrect. Okay, so now that all these guys are running around, post, it's just giving you a little insight on what's going on. So it even says right here, Pulse can teleport huge quantities of equipment across the planet in the blink of an eye. So remember, everything moves at the speed of light. He has electromagnetic beacon go out. I'm talking to a couple of people. Yeah, everybody come on over. The electromagnetic beacon already out there. It's already out there. There's no lapse in time. So that's why I say he teleports. Even though he can fly at the speed of light, then that's still bound by time. Yes, because it's a measurement, right? But instantaneous, yeah, that's different. So he also said something about there was others that attended the multi-dimensional gifts of power ceremony. So we already know it's multi-dimensional, and we know that because each constellation vibrates at a different frequency, and each one of those frequencies is considered a dimension. Okay. Kingdom. I'm lost. Oh, what's going on here? We're talking about flux and the 3 books. So currently now we're going through book 1 of everything that's happened so far. Book 1, the big introduction to all the characters. We finding out that Earth-based characters, this is their origin story. We have 3 Alpha Guardians who are already living their lives. But again, all of this happened, all of the gifts of power ceremony, everything, it happened out of alignment. So if it was in alignment, all 12 heroes would have went through the gifts of power ceremony. But that's not what happened because everything is out of order. Remember in the beginning when I said the Reaper was watching some true immortals inflict their will on the universe. So they inflicted their will and they cracked, or basically they dispersed the sun. They just pow, the sun just vanished, right? Which created a wormhole, and Cancer was sucked through that wormhole and into our present dimension, which resonates at 432 ohms. And you hadn't heard that before because you hear them go, yeah, and that's my understanding is that's 432 ohms. But anyway, we got the book. So books 1 and 2 are $20. Book 3 is $25. You can get a bundle for $55. But what we're going through is the story. And right now we're on page 104, and we're talking about, and we're at the end, chapter 5. We just hit chapter 5. We're talking about Pulse and Intech and the things that Pulse are going through. So each one of the constellations has a zodiac guardian. And I'm just catching Mustard. I can't say that. Mustard Kingdom. I can't say that. These are the zodiac guardians, and everybody has one, right? Everybody has one. And these are the 3 books, right? I'm on book 5 right now, so I'm trying to sell merch and everything so we can get book 4 out, right? So anyway, let's get back to the story. So Pulse, I let you guys know, Pulse is a cop. And he's excited about being a cop. That's his thing. He believes in it. Like it's part of his very being. But he also lets you know that if it was up to him to save the planet, he's clueless. Like he really didn't feel comfortable. I got power, but he know he needs help, right? He's more of a detective. He can do some things, but he's not the actual leader that puts out the orders. And it's kind of, I was trying to show y'all that. All right, so anyway, Pulse teleports stuff all over the place. He also checking. This is when I introduce you guys to the Titan Shield facility. So the Titan Shield facilities are 4 conductors that sit on the planet. Okay, they're huge. They're huge, like bigger than like 5 times the size of a stadium. Okay, so they're huge, and those conductors, what they do is they use Earth's magnetic field to project a white noise barrier around our planet. So, in my mind, if I was coming to Earth and I didn't want people to know I was here, the dominant society to know that we were here, um, I mean, we flew all the way across the solar, I mean, hell, the galaxy, if that, right? From another galaxy. So we have to have the technology to do certain things. It's just how my mind works. So I believe that we need to protect the planet from whether they dropping spores, whether they trying to mind control us, whether they trying to hit us with pheromones or whatever. But basically, you almost made the atmosphere around Earth kind of solid. It's not solid; it can be passed through, but the same force you feel with that magnet, you now feel. That's what the white noise projects, and it keeps alien life forms from taking over. And if you look at our communications, any movie you watch, they always show how the aliens can listen to everything we do because their technology is greater. Now, what Intech did was, what he decided to do was encapsulate. Now, I don't know if you guys know about IT, information technology, and whatnot, but that's what I did in the military. So I kind of know about encapsulation and how I should have did this better so I could talk about it better. Okay, so encapsulation is basically they take the bits and bytes, and I forgot I did this in Cisco training. You got an IP packet. That's what it's called, an IP packet, right? So much data, right? But it's encapsulated in something so it can travel across the network, whether it's Wi-Fi through cabling or whatever, right? On whatever medium it decides to how it moves, but it's encapsulated. So what Intake decides to do is encapsulate our calls, our data in white noise. So it's boosted from the atmosphere, and at the same time, that white noise protects your call and anybody else from decoding it. So we no longer do technology the way we do. He's basically killed the way that hackers can do stuff now. Like a hacker has the ability to grab your encapsulated right now in real life. They have the ability to grab your data, which is being transferred from one point to another point, and they have a chance to grab it, copy it, whatever they do, and then send the packet on. So you get the packet you don't know nothing about, but they can then decode that. Well, if it's encapsulated in white noise, you can't decode it. Okay. Okay. I mean, I thought maybe, that was one of those clap your hand things right there. All right, y'all. So moving on. So the UN, right? Everybody believes in tech, right? They believe him now. So they saying, hey, with all the technology that's being given out, I guess you got people and, scientists and engineers checking the codes and everything to ensure that, he's not taking over the world. But it's what's happening, y'all. They basically looking at everything and saying, hey, we got all this technology. We're increasing the defense of our planet. So those in power, they agree. Okay, so bam, bam, bam. Once people receive access to, yeah. I talked about all that. Um, I talked about that yesterday. Video streaming capabilities for EMS personnel. Anything that's big happening. You know how we right now we have the police 5 with the cameras on, but the way the IQ matrix works, see, there's no turning the camera off. It's automatic. Remember, everything is there. So if you're streaming what's happening, the only way to stop streaming is if somebody like killed you or shot you or something. Other than that, you don't get to just take your glasses off. I mean, it's two in the middle of a battle, right? So you show up at a battle, you call it in to whoever, right? And if it's the top priority stream at that time, that stream takes precedence, and everybody else that has an IQ matrix can watch it too, right there in real time. So that's kind of what I came up with. Okay. Once upon government and commercial broadcasting resources have begun the dismantling and deconstruction of transmission towers. So we're going to use stuff from the transmission towers, right? There's no more of that old stuff. Okay. We letting that old stuff go. Those old transmission cell phone, because any other life form, already has a way, if they came here to this planet, okay, their technology is greater than ours, or they have a way to listen and communicate, because they didn't grow up here on our planet at our speed, right? I've always said that I believe that our media keeps us dumber than we are. I believe that if you give people a scenario and you put them in that scenario, there's either a fight or flight reaction. So some of us we engage it. Those are the ones that'll move up, and then there are people who run from it, and those will be the ones that get left behind. But we don't do that. Everything's different in our media, right? Um, there was a guy, I guess he was in sports, or maybe he was in a movie or something. He says he's from another country, and he says like our teenagers and our 20-year-olds, they're so far behind because they don't move the way the rest of the 15 and 20-year-olds, the teenagers and the 20-year-olds do in the rest of the countries. And I'm like, so maybe some of us do, but it's not really preached. That's not what we preach in the media. Let's leave it like that. That's not what we preach in the media. But I do believe there are some of us who are advanced, and we're always pushing for it. It's just the way I think, though. Okay, so I told you about the 4 Titan Shield facilities. I told you about the 4 satellites in the sky. Technically, these satellites are guns, and we'll get to that probably in book 2. But these satellites that are up there, they're giant. They're like rail guns. They're giant, though. They're like the size of the pyramids, but they're floating up there to protect the planet from any incoming any threat. Okay, so I did tell you guys about the oscillation frequency oscillation barrier. That's that barrier I was talking about around the planet, the white noise. So technically, if you come into our planet now, you need to basically come in at an angle. Coming straight down, you'll feel that force. And if you don't have enough thrust, you probably could be bounced off. So you come in at an angle, you slice through at an angle. It's something that NASA and those guys who send up probes or whatever they doing, they already kind of doing that, okay? They know about all the angles and stuff. And then, Post basically let you guys know that he's upset because remember, he's still a cop to his heart. Right? He's still a cop in his heart. So, there's one of the enhanced humans, Ember, running around blasting people. And Ember, y'all, remember she's the one that's a twin. She's unalive, maybe 68 people, and he has a problem with that. So Pulse is still upset about that. In his mind, I'm a cop. Life, I guess he believes in the whole fair trial, whatever. But Amber, she believes in like justice. So to me, what she's asking for shouldn't be hard, and she's not targeting regular people or regular criminals. She's targeting a specific type of criminal. Not saying that she's doing right or wrong, but I can get behind what she's done. What she's doing, and that's kind of how all the people in that where she's from, they're applauding, they're giving her all this love because of what she's doing. That's what Pulse is upset. Like to him, it's like, yo, like she's a murderer. But y'all, the people saying, hey, we can go back outside now, though. We can go and enjoy our life. Like I can walk to the store and not worry about getting robbed or ran over or getting shot and all of this other stuff. So, I guess it's how you feel about it. Okay. What else? Yeah, he wants Ember to pay, but we know what it is. Yeah, he's upset with Ember and he thinks to himself, oh, okay. And then ultimately, Intech, he's creating so many things, right? He got an atomizer, if you will, something that can just whatever take his ideologies or his theories and basically make the actual item or whatever he needs. So he basically created a um, energy signature locator, basically. I didn't give it a fancy name, but that's basically what it is. And so other than that, y'all, that's where it kind of happened at. Now, if y'all still got questions, y'all, you on Whatnot, I can see you. If you're on Facebook, I can see you. If you got any commentaries, you want to put it out, I'll be here for a couple more minutes. Because, I'm going to hold you guys for an hour. I'm going to put these clips back on and let you guys watch what's coming in the future. I'm so excited. And I think I've moved so far. Like, remember, I started writing these books in 2011, y'all. That's why some of the words probably don't necessarily mix in today's societal norms, such as unalive, right? I didn't use that term because in 2011, we wasn't using that term. But anyway, so the books were created, or the story began all the way back in 2011. And now I'm actually online. So, if you guys got any questions, you guys can get into it and ask me. I'm actually got a screensaver that I keep putting on. And it's just to show you guys, like, I'm true to this game. I love what it is I do. I can't draw, so I definitely need, artists and stuff. But the story, though, it's all to me about the story. So I'm always pushing the story. And I'm on book 5 now. I got 3 books to purchase, 55 bundled up. We might get that down to 45 on and maybe you can get you an autographed copy and whatnot when we get ready to do the 4-hour stream. I think I'm looking after the 18th, the weekend after the 18th. If things are right, projected correctly, I think we will be able to do that weekend. And I'm gonna have you guys on for 4 hours. I'm gonna stream everywhere. And if you want to see what's going on, you'll be able to see what's going on. Now, this screensaver that I'm putting on right now. So this screensaver that I'm putting on actually it shows everybody how far I've gone, how far we've come. Okay, we've come a long way. We've come a long way. We've come a long way, y'all. So you get to see the Zodiac Guardians. You'll be able to probably see characters from book 3. You'll be able to see characters from book 4, book 5. Yeah, because I'm working so far ahead, right? So, whenever you guys are ready, y'all hit me up, give me some questions, inquire, and let me find out. Yeah, so I want to also do some raffles and stuff, y'all. So the sooner we ready, I do know the weekend after the 18th, we will actually be auctioning stuff off and stuff. Because I have comics, I have other type of merches, I have a whole bunch of stuff that I'll put it out and you guys can say, hey, I forgot what that's called. You get the bid on it or whatever. Okay, so it's coming, y'all. It's coming. All right, pop. Put this on mute.
Okay.
Countdown. Gift. Records. Countdown. Gift. Records. Countdown. Gift. Records.
Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Uh-huh.
Countdown. Gift. Records. Countdown. Gift. Records. Flux. The gift of power ceremonial orbs have been activated, and man has acquired ancient power not meant for the earthly realm. Those empowered have now been thrust into a cataclysmic chain of events leading to the destruction of Earth. It has been compromised, and otherworldly realms are aware of our planet's location. The 12 must traverse time, space, alien planets, new realities, and otherworldly realms to save all of creation. The Flux Continuum. www.flux-zodiac.com at flux_chaos.
Okay. Hey, I'm back, y'all. That mute's on. Yeah. All right, I'm back. Hey, so we're getting ready to close down for the day. Okay, we will be here tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be taking care of second seat danger. Remember I told y'all that's the guy that's traveling. That's the Cancerian, the Bakrata that's traveling with Commander Trimble. He's like his second seat, like his number one. So we're gonna do 2S Danger tomorrow because we finna get it popping. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm coming to the end of the season. It's kind of how I see my books, right? I'm coming to the end of the season, and I'm about to leave you with the cliffhanger. At least that's what I feel like I'm doing. All right, and we're gonna hit on Eloise Rothstein. Eloise Rothstein. Let me see. Bam. So if you're a Leo, okay, if a Leo is your zodiac sign, this is where you want to be at tomorrow. So we're gonna knock out Eloise Rothstein, the PhD professor from Stuttgart, Germany. Right? We finally got back to her. Yep. Okay, so that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. 2S second seat danger and Eloise Rothstein, and we're gonna learn about the shepherd of Leo. Okay, that's about it, y'all, for today. Okay, remember, y'all can go out. I got things pinned to the store. Come take a look. A lot of merch. Also, we're putting out the new stickers. Well, I shouldn't say stickers. These are mini posters. They're autographed, well, initial, dated, and I have my company seal in them and laminated. Okay, I think these are like $10 a piece, and we have the remaining characters on the back. Okay, so go out there and take a look, y'all. Come out and represent. And when I'm able to finalize about us being when we're gonna do this 4-hour stream where we're gonna do flash challenges, all types of things, not giving stuff away, but definitely want to drum up business. Make sure y'all be out here and come see us, okay? Thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful weekend, TGIF, all that good stuff. And keep sharing, keep follow, share, like, and notification. Okay, algorithm, right? Ugh, algorithm, yeah. But anyway, thank y'all for coming. And see y'all tomorrow, right? 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm out.